Welcome to World History Notes, where I read from the book I wrote to teach homeschoolers world history. A Bible believer looks at world history. You can find it on lulu.com, amazon.com, or at the Bible Baptist bookstore. Um, or you just follow me here. Now, it's going to be from the perspective of a Bible believing Christian, somebody who believes the Bible. So you're not going to agree with my conclusions if you're atheist, Muslim, Hindu, Roman Catholic, other Protestant faith traditions, but you should know about these subjects that I talk about. Have some kind of understanding so you can be conversant in them. So I'm gonna begin. I was talking about the King James Bible, very important Bible for the English language and for Protestant religion for several hundred years. In 1603, King James called for a meeting at Hampton Court, which was actually held in January 1604, to discuss conflicts in the Anglican Church between the High Church Anglican bishops and the Puritans. The Puritans were separatists who desired to restore the Church of the New Testament and overthrow any Catholic leanings in the Church of England. They were constantly at war with the mainstream Anglicans. At the conference, one of their leaders, Dr. John Reynolds, suggested what was needed was a new translation of the Bible that was not so prejudiced on favor of the quote big church people. James, surprisingly, because he hated Puritans, agreed, but put the Anglicans in charge of the project. James believed in the divine right of kings and disliked the anti authoritarian marginal notes of the popular Geneva Bible. The project was divided into 6 companies at various universities who would handle the translating. They were to use the bishop's Bible and not deviate unless necessary. This didn't happen. What they did was to ignore it. Many scholars say they stayed 95% with Tyndale's New Testament. Once part of the translation was finished, it would pass to the other companies who would have to approve it, and then on to the final editors who would decide all controversies. In this manner, some scholars I read insisted that each verse had to pass 14 approvals before being permitted in the final draft. The translators had every vernacular Bible in every language available in front of them, over 1,000 manuscripts, the works of Erasmus, Stephanus, and Beza, plus the Old Latin, Jerome's Vulgate, and scores of secular Greek manuscripts. For the Hebrew, they used a traditional text of the Hebrew Masoretes called the Second Great Rabbinic Bible of Jacob ben Chaim from the famed Bomberg Publishing House. By the time they were through, they even passed their work to scholars who weren't on their committees for their suggestions, so much so that the famed Bishop Ussher was asked to return part of the Bible he was reviewing in Ireland so that they could finish their work. It still took 7 years to complete, not being published until 1611. And we're going to continue talking about the King James Bible because it's very important. It's very important to me too. Um, Next, and we'll talk about the translators and some of the things the secular scholars say about the translators. So I look forward to talking to you, and I hope that you'll study the Bible, study history, and come to your own conclusions about world history. Thank you.